Hi there, and welcome to She Spice. You know Will Smith has forever been that genius everybody entryways right, like he has this brilliant air around him, and it seems like he couldn't possibly be at fault. However, at that point here comes Katt Williams tossing conceal and switching things around. He's fundamentally saying, we've all been tricked, that the Will Smith we've been revering is only a delusion, and behind that enchanting grin could prowl something hazier. He even clues that Smith may be more awful than his pal Diddy, and that is saying something. So, how could Katt Williams mix the pot like this? Well, on the off chance that you've been focusing, all that he's been calling out appears to work out. At some point or another, take Diddy. For instance, it resembles he's continually in major trouble and anybody associated with him experiences the intensity as well, and presently Williams is pointing fingers at Smith, recommending he's been needs somewhere down in questionable stuff from the beginning. In one meeting, Stunner Feline spills the tea that Smith may be a power slave, taking the necessary steps to ascend. That VIP stepping stool suggests he has puppeteers making things happen and controlling his moves in the background. Will Smith isn't the monster that he is exclusively for the benefit of Will Smith or his family. There are 300 partnerships that are a piece of the Will Smith business, and assuming you are individuals that are good to go with him, when you conclude that you are going to accomplish something you can do, it also recalls the entire Oscars theatrics where Smith smacked Chris Rock. Well, Williams proposes that each of the arrangements was a painstakingly arranged show to hold Smith under wraps. Williams stresses that in the realm of showbiz, where deception frequently bests reality, such stage dramatizations are more normal than one could naturally suspect. We need to comprehend that these are two Goliaths in our field, assuming you're an individual of color. This is the two people too enormous and too great to be in any way engaged with what they're in that would check out if it was in my shoes and Michael Blackson slapping each other, not Will Smith and Chris Rock when two huge stones meet up, and you can't see Chris Rock succeeding at all. He's embarrassed assuming that you plan to slap a humorist. He was the main to slap top of the coons, so on the off chance that you will slap him, you simply need the person who's shown us his best way of behaving. Since the 90s, that person is the person who should slap him for the kind of evaluations we really want and regard for B on this thing he's embarrassed in the event that you are going a comic. He was the main to so, and assuming that you going to him, you simply need the best person. That person is the one that should for the kind of evaluations we want and thoughtfulness. As regarding B on this thing, in addition, William recommends that Smith's decrease in late ventures. For example, the disastrous after with his child, Jaden signals a purposeful move by these puppeteers to dishonor and sideline him by arranging situations that lead to public examination and expressed misfortunes. They successfully render Smith unemployable according to Hollywood's influence representatives. They tinker with the view of individuals, and that is essential for the gig some time ago. It used to be called promulgation. Currently, it's called business. They don't say we got to spread the competitor. They smear him. Whoever made you is able to break you. That is the finish of it. When they got you and placed you on that Fox show, it was on the grounds that you planned to do this, and just this. You won't ever do that. When you break that, they finish with you too. They concluded they would done with Will when he did After Earth with Jaden. From that point, they've done what was important to take him from a 20 million film to set him in a position where perhaps it can seem he has a mental meltdown and is presently unemployable. They concluded that they were done with Will when he did After Earth with Jay, and from that point, they've done what was important to take him from a 20 million film to set him in a position where perhaps it can seem he has a mental meltdown and presently is unemployable, attracting equals to. The continuous discussions encompassing Diddy Williams suggest that both Smith and Diddy are casualties of a framework that bites up and lets out its most splendid stars when they are not generally considered valuable. It's truly eye-opening how wrecked Hollywood can get. It's like a portion of our most loved celebs will do pretty much anything to ascend that popularity and influence stepping stool. However, at that point, when they arrive at the top, they begin pulling some genuinely obscure stuff, believing they're unapproachable thanks to their puppeteers. Yet, as is commonly said, what occurs in obscurity generally finds its direction into the light. For example, there have been murmurs regarding Will Smith's sex inclination drifting around for a very long time, despite the fact that he's been hitched to Jada Pinkett Smith. Perpetually certain individuals are beginning to contemplate whether their entire relationship is only a front concealing something way more muddled. He became involved with bits of gossip about dating his male co-star Dwayne Martin, back in November 223, a previous companion and right hand of Smith Bilal spilled some significant tea during a meeting with YouTuber Tasha K. As per Bilal, he strolled in on Will Smith and Dwayne Martin getting dependent upon a few grown-up exercises in Martin's changing area, so I opened the entryway to Dwayne changing area, and that is the point at which I see Dwayne and having a with Will, and the dramatization doesn't stop there. Reports additionally circle that Will's association with Dwayne Martin could play had an influence in the separation of Tisha Campbell and Dwayne YouTube sensation. Trisha Piss additionally chose to add her opinion blaming Will Smith for purportedly causing her male artists to accomplish other things than dance as per T. Risha, these artists wound up in a few genuinely awkward circumstances. Despite their desire to the contrary currently, we should rewind to 2016. The late entertainer Alexis Arquette guaranteed that Will Smith's ex-Cher Zampino separated from him since she got Will in bed with one more man as per Day Today. Nail Arquette spilled the tea in a now-erased Facebook post, indicating that Jada Pinkett Smith could have her very own account to tell in the expressions of Alexis when Jada emerges as and her fascia. Elle hair spouse concedes his most memorable marriage finished when she strolled into him overhauling his friendly benefactor Benny Medina. Then I will pay attention to them, and we should not disregard Will's manly relationship with Diddy. It was even Diddy who that plunged to make all the difference at the 2022 Foundation grants. He attempted to chill things off and cause it to appear to be all chill. B and Chris, we will tackle that like family at the gold party. Okay, yet this moment we're continuing on with adoration. Everyone maxim clamor yet presently. The grapevine is humming with reports that their relationship may be something other than a manly relationship. Word on the road is they may be associated with some obscure stuff, like what went down with Bri Dim. We should do a speedy summary on the secret encompassing Br Shar's vanishing from the scene. Recollect when he was shaking it on Domain, and everybody thought he was on the road to success too. Super fame post Domain, well, here's the tea, diverts out his exit from the business. Wasn't precisely by decision. The gossip land is humming with murmurs that Cher sought the old repudiate therapy from. In all honesty, Will Smith and Diddy. Why you ask? Well, evidently Bri Cher asked for from their supposed oddity offs, and that didn't sit excessively well with the large names, so prompt the results and enter the counterbalance culture. Brer was out of the business quicker than you can say. Hollywood dramatization is now assuming that you're considering the way that he got into this wreck. In any case, let me spread it out for you. Back in his teen days, Breyer encountered Charlie Mack, an ability chief specialist. Charlie being the entertainer, he has caught Breyer a tryout for Domain, and the fella aced it handling the job. Quick forward to Hollywood with Charlie, playing director and directing Bri Cher through the business labyrinth. Charlie wasn't any administrator, he was the fitting. He had associations that could blow your mind, connecting Breyer with the big cheeses in Hollywood, including, in all honesty, Will Smith. Will and Brer hit it off like a house ablaze. Every step of the way, Brer was it on Domain, and Will was a wide range of dazzled, so normally a mentorship dynamic kicked in, causing it to seem like the fantasy group in the making. I mean, who would have zero desire to be guided by the new ruler himself? Now this sounds like an awesome deal on paper, yet you know how the platitude goes, not all that sparkles is gold. So after Diddy and Will purportedly snagged Br Cher into these oddity offs, promising to support his vocation. Consequently, after a couple of rounds of this unequivocal way of life, Brer had enough and quit, seeing everything as a lot to deal with. Now Brer's choice to limit any association with Diddy and Will came just before Realm wrapped up, leaving him jobless post-Domain. Bri Cher's life experienced a plunge, and at first it seemed like he probably wouldn't have dealt with his distinction well. Yet the genuine kicker is the supposed aftermath with Diddy and Will, who, as per reports, were enraged that Bri Cher really thought about leaving. Purportedly, they didn't warmly embrace his flight and evidently made some things happen to boycott him from the business. Recall how Cassie spilled the tea about Diddy undermining her profession when she attempted to leave, assuming that the tales were to be accepted. Breyer confronted a comparable destiny, supposedly Diddy, and will demolish his profession as a type of retribution, and there are even murmurs that they purportedly utilized as dangers to keep him quiet at any. Subscribe She Spice for more videos.